Oh, right, we're back here, everybody. Sorry about that. You know how internet things can happen sometimes. We just lost connection there from our production side, but we're back here. Sorry about the technical issues there, but we can tell you with confidence that the 14 GT Rosari was your stage one winner here tonight from the Charlotte Motor Speedway, as he was able to bring home that stage win, but did lose 4 positions on pit road as we were under the first or the second caution of the night, but under our first stage caution of this evening. As right now, Travis Everett will be leader with Curtis Preston second, Hunter Hayward third, Matthew Rush fourth, and GTR Azari fifth. I believe. Let's see if they don't double file this time, we'll grab GT here and see what his thoughts are on the stage one. But if they double file up, we'll let him get to work because he has a lot of work to do here to pull off this victory here tonight.
Don't worry, I'm pretty good at abbreviated interviews.
We'll see here. I think we might be able to get a chat here with him. We'll see. Do the lights go out on the pace car? They do. So we'll leave him to it. We don't want to bring him up here to short notice and let him focus on that. So GTRs are your stage one winner here tonight at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Congrats to him on pulling off that victory.
And here's my abbreviated interview. GT, happy with the car, happy with his pace, happy the teammates are running up at the front. Mustang week, Ford Mustang. 20 years of Mustang week, happy to have that thing getting some camera time.
Exactly. What GT, we appreciate the interview, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
And you heard that from GTRs are your stage one winner. But we'll go back green flag race here, Brandon. Now, man, I'll tell you what, GT's got some uphill battle to do. I mean, sure, he's not too happy about that little mistake sliding through the box there.
And that's not that big of an issue, considering he started a little bit farther back, I believe, on the initial start here. He had some help with that first caution, get some cars out of the way for him, but he was able to charge to the front after that. So not the worst thing that could have happened, but I'm sure he's going to be making an adjustment for that for the next time he has to make a pit stop.
Will not be making that mistake again. He'll definitely not want to do that. There, his track position going to be critical. We've seen him do it before. Here we go into the restart zone. Travis Everett off and away into 59. Great start for him there as Curtis Preston able to get going on the bottom. He clears Matthew Rush's Hunter Hayward there, pushing along with him, the 48. I think the bottom quickly going to be the line to be at here to take off. We've seen that in the early start of the race. Let's see how quickly it takes off here.
Rolling pretty well, but Matthew Rush is hanging tough on that outside lane. But we know GT pretty good at running the bottom. He was able to hold the lead pretty late into the run while running that bottom lane, but backing out of it here, imagine just trying to take it easy on these cold tires, and we see Curtis Preston really wiggling on the outside as Hunter Hayward peeked to the inside of him.
You can see that inside line works early here. Preston up high. Everett going to decide to go low to take the air away from Hunter Hayward on the bottom. He slides up the racetrack. This lets Hayward almost get to the inside for the lead here. Side by side down the back straightaway here. Hard racing here, going down into turn 3 and 4. Looks like Hayward on the bottom. Can he make the move? Don't know if he can clear the 59. He barely does, but 59 to the outside there. And Hayward gives up position to that outside lane.
Well, able to lead that lap. I think that inside lane's starting to give up just a little bit. Now Travis Everett able to hang a lot better with him. We'll have to see what it's like through 3 and 4 this time, but Travis Everett getting a big run down the backstretch towards turn 3. Now back to the inside for the 59. Curtis Preston still stuck on the bottom there, trying to make it work, but Hunter Hayward getting the big run out of turn 4.
Yeah, he elected to go high that last time by. Everett went low. See where Everett goes this time. Everett goes to the bottom. So does Preston. Hayward up top. Same with Rush. Great to see the line switch back and forth here. I wish it could. That's the only thing. It'd be kind of nice if it could do it throughout the run, but the tires just can't stay with it to make that bottom work too long. But early it goes, man. It really does.
Well, we see our top 5 right now. Every alternating car running a different line right now, and I don't know if that's just because of a driver preference or maybe it's just the dirty air. They're not wanting to get stuck behind a car directly ahead of them there and potentially get a little bit on the tight side. And now Curtis Preston, maybe a little help from his teammate there backing up and hurting Hunter Hayward's entry to allow him to get to the inside a little bit better. But now Matthew Rush right up to the back bumper of the 48 here, looking to capitalize and roll that high side and potentially move at least to second place here.
And they look early in these runs, the racing is just fantastic. It's just as those tires wear, it's harder and harder to pass. I think that's what, Hayward, he's banking on that top line becoming the best line. Same with Rush there. He's just hanging on to the back bumper of that 48 as they work down the back straightaway here. And he's kind of just going any way he can. He kind of decides, okay, last minute, I can make the bottom at least, I'm going to be clear on the exit to where I could slide up. So he does that move. And it's been working for him, but Hayward's getting closer. It's just hard to know which way he's going to go sometimes.
Well, right now, if Hunter Hayward can get the run, he's got security behind him that Curtis Preston can't hop to the high side and try to get a move. But now Matthew Rush going to go ahead and pass Curtis Preston. And I got to point out, while all this is going on, they have broken away by a ton over the rest of the field.
Yeah, the field's really separated a lot as this run took off here for stage number 2. The field's just kind of broken together and packed some of just different little niches. So we're seeing that as we're going through here. You see Marc-Andre Thibodeau in the 27 here in 9th position ahead of Rusty Modesty. I mean, it's kind of just spread completely out here early in the going.
Yeah, all the way back to 9th and 10th. They're almost the full backstretch away from the pack of the leaders right now, with about 3 cars spread in between them, kind of almost running by themselves. It looks like Brock Potter, as well as Daniel Gonzalez, in 7th and 8th right now, the closest to those straggler cars between these two packs.
Yeah, just looking through the field here, Ryan Ezel up top in the 5. You're seeing a lot of different lines, and it's definitely interesting. The bottom is tough to pass on, but some guys are making it work. Some guys are making it their preferred line. So you're 45 laps in, seeing some different things work at the Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Well, running the bottom, like we talked about before, will definitely help conserve your tire a little bit, and it'll allow you to get back to the throttle when you have to make that transition to the high side. You can get back to the throttle a little bit better, carry a little bit better of a run, and it'll really help your ability to sail it off to get that big run, to sail it off into the corner when you're trying to set up a pass. But you've got to kind of mitigate the amount of spots that you lose while doing it, because your tires aren't going to hold up long enough to make that many slide job passes. You're not going to be able to just sail it in like that without really having to back off the throttle and open yourself up for the crossover.
Here we are looking at Harold Watkins in the 22s. He rips the outside. You can just see right here from the onboard. I mean, it's a daunting task to be able to run up that high. And the closer that's the thing, when you see some of these trains too, the closer you get to the car ahead of you, the tougher it gets to run up there also.
It really takes a lot of the air off the nose and makes it hard to turn the car. That dirty air is absolutely havoc with the speeds that they're turning here, running around the wall like they are, which is why it benefits you a lot, I would think, to back off your corner quite a bit, like we saw Calvin Ruff doing to Bob Fitzpatrick, really backing up the corner as opposed to what Bob was doing, and able to get a huge run out and get back to the throttle quicker than the 3, and allowed him to keep that position pretty handily.
Here we are riding with Daniel Gonzalez. What a run he's having, I must say, tonight. Started in that 13th position. He's in 8th, and he's been in that top 10 for most of this race. So Gonzalez having the race of his season so far after that top 3 finish at Martinsville. That race he kind of, I wouldn't say lucked into it, but he definitely, didn't have the greatest race up to the point where he finished in the top 3. But tonight looks like to be the best run possibly for this 84.
Well, you know what they say, it's better to be lucky than good, and sometimes if you can get a good finish like that by just circumstance, you will absolutely take it. But backing up that good finish took a little while, but running top 10 right now, a pretty clean car considering the amount of cars that were caught up in that lap 1 incident rather. Looking to chase down the 4 Brock Potter here and get ever so closer to that top 5.
I'll tell you what, this top 5 is definitely stayed all together as Travis Everett on the bottom has drove away. Hayward hanging on the second, Rush hanging on the third, but GT Rosari takes the position from Preston up to that fifth position or fourth position. Sorry, with Preston back to fifth, but Kevin Ruff also starting to creep into the picture a little bit in this 112 from that sixth position.
And I think what's helping Kevin Ruff right now is he's been a good distance away from these guys, so he hasn't had to worry about the dirty air that the rest of this pack has had to deal with racing around each other, and it's allowed his tires to be a little bit fresher, not quite as much heat in the right front. They're able to rotate a lot better and just slowly making gains. He's starting to get the draft of these this front pack here as they're battling, and once he gets closer, that's really where he's going to run into problems. He's going to start feeling that that dirty air push and try to work different lines like you see GT doing in third place right now. And I think talking about Travis Everett being able to run the bottom and really pull away, I think it's just the clean air is so good that it's not hampering his speed to be rolling out of the gas as much as he has to make the bottom lane work.
I tell you what, who's making the bottom lane work is the 14, man. GT Rosari. He again showing prowess this week of just being able to make a different group. Oh, rush a little bit up to the wall. Can he get back to the outside of Curtis Preston off of 4? Yes, he does. Not to get that position up, but I think Preston far enough ahead, he'll slide up in front.
Yeah, GT being a contrarian here, just trying to do things that guys are not doing, and it absolutely makes sense. If everybody's going to be up running by the wall, you're not going to be able to pass them like that, so you've got to find out a way to run somewhere else and make passes, and he's done a great job of that so far. After his mistake during the stage caution, losing positions, back up to third place now, looking to track down Hunter Hayward to retake second and then go after his teammate back for the lead.
Man, oh man, after that stage 1 victory, he'd love to get back up there in position. Man, he's had a strong car as he's back up to third now, lurking on the 48 of Hunter Hayward for that second position as he runs that bottom. That's what I like to see. He can make something different work, and that's how he's going to get by that 48 if he does.
And the longer this goes on, if Hunter Hayward is consistently pushing it, all it's going to take is GT to get to his inside and him have to lift for just a little bit more than he wants to on the high side to keep from plowing up into the fence, and GT is going to be able to make that pass very easily. GT, as we know, very patient. He will just sit and wait and just when he finds this moment, when he thinks it's time to strike, he'll try something. He won't try to push it too hard. And if it doesn't work, he'll size it back up and wait for his next moment.
You're looking at the 54 of Anthony Nunez, as he's in the 16th position at the moment. Starting at 27th spot, so he's charged up a good bit through the field here, still running in that top 20 position. Nolan Potter directly behind him, who qualified second with that damage. Looks like he might be catching up to the back of that 54. But, man, early at the bowl, we got a total stack up for second as Hayward has got caught by Irizarry and Preston as Slide Job Racing looking to go back to 1, 2, 3 as GTers are almost clearing the 48 of Hayward, but just can't do it here off of 4. Tell you what, this battle for second is going to be spicy as Hayward trying to hold these guys off, but Everett's just driving away.
And I think it's only a matter of time right now for GT to be able to make this pass. Like I said, it's really easy to overdrive on the outside, knowing how much speed you have to carry there to really burn up your right front, especially in dirty air. And just not realize exactly how bad you're pushing it, because you can see right now that behind Hunter Hayward, Curtis Preston is getting such a good run off, but he's having to check up just to not run into the 48 right now.
Yeah, Hayward just struggling at the moment, really holding these guys up. I think Irizarry might be able to clear, can't do it again, man. He's just so close to being able to get it done, but Hayward just able to get the run off. That's what makes it so tough to pass on the bottom, is that outside line has such the advantage off the corner. And even if you're better, and oh, Irizarry, what a move. Great job by him in the 14 tape. When he was clear, he shut the door, closes that thing. Now, teammate Curtis Preston looking to get by. Think he'll slide up in front of the 48. Yes, he does. 48 goes to the bottom here. 29 Curtis Preston up into third. What a pass for him. Those two drivers making it done here early for Slide Job Racing.
And I tell you what that was. That was a very strategic move by GT to hop in up ahead of Hunter Hayward and really box him in to the outside and not be able to do the crossover move with his teammate Curtis Preston on the inside. And that also allowed Curtis Preston to get a good run down the straightaway and make that pass going into turn 1.
Great racing from the slide job teammates as they got to try to run down their slide job racing teammate in that of Travis Everett, who's out front right now running 32-1. So not the greatest lap last time by Travis, and I think he may have had some time. Oh, he caught lap traffic there, so that's really what caught him up that last lap.
Well, and it looks like I believe this will be the stage here. There it is. So Travis Everett gonna get the win for stage 2.
Yeah, gonna get that stage win. Man, that racing was so good down there, and I kind of forgot about stages, Brandon.
I happened to look down and notice what lap it was on lap 60, and was like, "Oh, we're at the end of the stage."
Well, I tell you what, slide job racing, they pulled off a pretty good slide job there to put themselves 1, 2, 3 again here for stage number 2. Travis Everett this time being the winner of this stage, as GT was able to collect stage number 1. Slide job racing looking very strong tonight here at this racetrack, man.
Yeah, and really, if you look at it right now, Travis Everett and GT, barring lap points for whoever's led the most lap, they're even on stage points right now, because I believe Travis Everett finishing second in stage 1 to GT finishing in the lead for that stage. So now I think Curtis Preston's going, okay, you guys had your fun, you won the stages, but I'm going to go out here and I'm going to try to win this race.
Yeah, Curtis Preston, he's always lurking. I mean, last season he's champion. I mean, that guy, you can never count him out, and just the speed he shows week in and week out. I wouldn't doubt him for sure. But he's never going to beat his 2 teammates, though. GT Rizar and Travis Everett both with stage wins in their back pocket here. Looking very, very good as they'll come to pit road here on lap 62. Get some service done, and then we'll have a chat there with Mr. Travis Everett.
And I tell you, their biggest benefit right now, Travis and GT over Curtis, is they've figured out how to roll the bottom a lot better than what Curtis Preston has been able to do so far. I think being able to make the pass on Hunter Hayward, a virtue of help from the teammate, as well as Hunter's tires just being absolutely destroyed, maybe overdriving just a little bit. We know Hunter has the pace. He's been up there contending. We'll see if he can make some adjustments after this pit stop here and figure out something a little bit different to carry on that pace later on into the run.
Yeah, it's going to be who can take it to the slide job racing trio out front. Travis Everett going to win the race off pit road along with GT Rosari and teammate Curtis Preston. 1, 2, 3 off of pit road. Let's pull down our stage 2 winner of Travis Everett and hear what he has to say about winning stage number 2 here tonight at the Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Hey, Travis, it's Brandon up in the booth. You got a copy, bud?
Yes, sir. We got you.
Well, man, first, I want you to relay a message to GT when you get back down there that we had some problems up here, couldn't get his interview in, but I did my best impression of him to make up for that, so you can check that out later. But, man, congrats on getting this Stage 2 victory. How are you rolling the bottom so well? You and GT just seem to have it figured out where nobody else does and are just able to make those passes down there look not easy, but pretty easy.
Messed around with a few things in practice earlier or last week and found that it could work 15 laps in, and then we kind of migrated to the top. And I just went ahead and tried it on the long run there, and it seemed like it worked pretty well. I think eventually on this run here, you'll have to move up to the top.
Well, have you noticed much of a tire advantage? Does it really save your tires running down there as opposed to just trying to rim ride the whole run?
Yeah, I think you're able to conserve a little bit better tire. Looking at what I got now compared to the end of the last stage, it's a little better wear, maybe 3 or 4% there.
Well, that's really good information. Thanks for that, bud, man. I'm excited for the rest of this stage. I hope you are too, or for the rest of this race, rather. It's been a blast seeing you guys slice and dice like this, just throwing slide jobs and everything. And got to wish you the best of luck for this last stint here. And hopefully you guys can maybe pull out the win, but maybe get a team 1, 2, 3 to go along with it.
Yeah, it'd be nice. We have 1, 2, 3, I believe, both stages so far. So hopefully one of us can make it in the victory lane here tonight.
All right, Travis. Well, I'll let you get back down there, man, and get with your team. Wish you the best of luck, and hopefully we'll talk to you at the end of this thing.
Appreciate it. Hope y'all enjoy it.
All right, that was Travis Everett, your stage number 2 winner here tonight from the Evolution 135 here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway for the RSR Cup Series. Man, sounded pretty confident there, I'd say. They sound like they've been working on something. They put in the time, and that's what I got to commend these Slide Job Racing guys. They're a team not only on the racetrack but off the racetrack. They really work together, and I think that shows each and every week why they run up front and why they're top 3 in points.
Yeah, absolutely. You spend a lot of time racing with guys. You get a good relationship together, and you spend time away from just the practices and just the races. You get a good relationship, and it helps with your ability to communicate. You understand how to talk to each other to relay certain information, and then being in the same room, these guys during the race, they're saying, okay, this is what we're doing, this is what it feels like, try this, try that, and it benefits the team as a whole. And these guys, by virtue of doing that, I mean, just looking at the team standings for the season, they've got a 300-point lead now in the team standings. So it absolutely showing the teamwork for Slide Jobs Racing.
Oh man, the teamwork there has been perfect throughout this season. These guys race each other hard, but they always race smart, and that's where you got to give them credit. Right now, top 3 drivers, Slide Job Racing, Hunter Hayward there in that 4th position, Matthew Rush 5th, Kevin Rush 6th as your top 3 rows. Getting ready to go into the restart zone. Travis Everett, your leader, will be on the outside line with GTRs are in that bottom lane. Pace car is in. Here we are, green flag. Start of the final stage of tonight here at the RSR Cup Series. Great start for the 59, but also great start for the 48 on Hunter Hayward. He was on the outside lane, but we've seen that bottom lane be the critical lane to be in early in the going.
It is really fast, and what I saw Hunter do there, he didn't try to run the extreme outside. He was running the middle, trying to keep a little bit of pace, shorten his way around as much as possible, not allow GT to get that big run to clear himself. And man, it's door-to-door racing with these two right now. They're wiggling all over the place, not trying to give an inch.
Yeah, Hayward there scared me just a little bit, getting pretty close to the door of that 14. You know, he's trying to make it work where he can go around that top side and not get up that distance that bottom is really cutting. And I think that's a smart decision by him. He's going to make the pass there, slide up into second. Can he get down in front of Irizarry is the question. Irizarry going to have to lift a little bit for him there. Hayward going to have to definitely be careful though. Can't get yourself in 2 positions left, but Kevin Ruff behind, big move from him in the 112 to put the move on GT Irizarry in third.
Well, when you got fresh tires and you know how important track position is, when you get a run, you have to try to go with it. Unfortunately, Kevin Ruff could not quite get to the inside of GT, had to get out of it there, but looking to fight on the inside, really close to the back bumper of that 14.
Big runs these guys are getting, and it's stacking up right now with this field all on top of each other as they exit off of 4. Travis Everett still leading. GT Irizarry now getting to the outside of that 48 of Hayward. Can he give him the same medicine that Hayward gave him where he stuck it on his door? Hey, there it is, Irizarry on the outside on that seam. I think that middle lane might be the best lane starting off, Brandon. That's where guys haven't ventured yet. Irizarry, big run on teammate Everett. Ooh, he's going to have to lift a little bit for him there as, man, that could have been a pretty big moment there between teammates off the floor.
Well, and we have seen it before. These Slide Job Racing guys, they race cleanly, but they race each other very hard. It's a lot like Penske in the Cup Series, that they'll race each other really, really hard when it comes down to it. Unfortunately, that's resulted in a teammate-on-teammate accident a time or two. But right now, just trying to size each other up. GT rolling the bottom really well, looking to the inside of Travis Everett here for the lead.
Yeah, Everett's been good to defend this, but look at Irizarry. He's been strong. He's the stage 1 winner. Everett's the stage 2 winner. These two going at it, trying to prove each other's dominance here tonight. Everett already a winner this season. Irizarry not, so you know Irizarry is hungry for this win here as we look to the back bumper of the 59. Here comes the 14. A little touch to him, down to the inside here, down to 3 and 4. Man, what a battle we have here, Charlotte.
And look, Travis Everett coming down, trying to pinch his teammate down, hurt his run up off the corner. But GT's still hanging really tough. I think if he can get this done in a few laps, if he doesn't make any mistakes, really have to get out of the throttle, I believe he's going to be able to clear Travis here shortly before the tires really start to give up.
Side by side still for that lead as they exit off of 2. Tell you what, behind that, Matthew Rush makes the pass for 3rd as Hayward drifting backwards as Preston gets to his outside. So that's going to push Hayward backwards in the 48 as the top 2 battle on the bottom with the next cars on the outside lane.
And Matthew Rush still hanging tough in 3rd place. He's been at the front the entire race so far, just sniffing around, trying to figure out different things. He's been committed to that outside lane every single run so far. We have not seen him venture down to the inside, and maybe that's something he needs to try out because it's working pretty well for the 2 cars ahead of him.
Man, oh man, it's heating up here in the stages of this race now, just past halfway not too long ago. Man, Brandon, right now, it's a titanic battle up front between these top 6 drivers as they're really all going for it. Here goes Preston on the inside of Rush. He's trying to make it again. A slide job racing. 1, 2, 3. Those 3 drivers have just been on point all night, making the bottom work. That's something those 3 drivers have had over the rest of this field, is they have been the drivers to make the bottom work.
And GT trying to make the bottom work, really has to get out of it. Almost got into Travis Everett there. It's going to open the door. They're 3 wide coming out of turn 4 now.
Yeah, and you saw the momentum loss. He literally had the, I think he had to stab the brake, guys. I mean, that is just a heads-up move from GT, but it's going to lose him a lot of spots here as the racing is very tough here. As Hayward now back to the outside of Preston. He's going to make the pass now. Ruff going to the outside of Preston. The other 2 slide job racing cars definitely have their hands full with these other race cars out here.
It looks like Kevin Ruff up into the fence here, going to lose a lot of momentum, allow GT and Curtis to clear him. And Hunter Hayward now trying to challenge for 2nd to the inside of Matthew Rush.
Trying to do his best to get past that 11 is the 48 on the bottom, working that groove. Just cannot make it work to no avail. Still have to slide back up to the top as the 29 of Preston comes in charging with a big run.
And it looks like Curtis Preston is really sailing it off to the outside, getting really close to the wall there. And I gotta imagine, you know, talking to Travis Everett, he said that it seemed like running that bottom, it helped conserve the tires a little bit. And from what I'm seeing, sailing it off to the high side, it just gets so tight from the entry of the corner to center that it's really hurting the tire. And then once the long run comes into play, you just do not have the ability to get back to the throttle to generate those runs that you need.
And we're seeing definitely a good bit of groove action working here, is just seeing drivers try to make multiple different lines working. I'm kind of seeing what you're seeing there from Curtis Preston. I don't know if he's backed it off trying to save a little something for the rest of this run, but maybe he's burned it up because he's not making as much headway on that top side as I would figure in that 29, as Hayward's still trying to make the move on Rush for that 2nd position, with Everett still out front, charging strong in that number 59 machine.
And only time will tell if now he's decided to back it off, or if maybe he just can't generate the amount of speed that he needs to get that run off. He's closing up now, but that's just these 2 ahead of him racing pretty hard side by side, kind of checking each other up a little bit. But at the same time that they're racing like this, Travis Everett, he may have backed off a little bit, but he's not really pulled away from them too far.
Yeah, man, it's definitely great battles up front here. But looking back at the 3 of Bob Fitzpatrick there, look at him in that 3 machine. He's running the 7th spot, man. Got to give him credit. 16th to 7th. Even Rusty Monty behind that, 19th to 8th. Daniel Gonzalez, he's fighting for the 9th spot with Brock Potter right now behind there. You got Ryan Bean coming into the picture a little bit now. I mean, a lot of guys having good runs here tonight at the Charlotte Motor Speedway.
And talking about the 3 of Bob Fitzpatrick, Zach, in 7th position, like you mentioned, looking for his first top 5 of the season. And just a couple spots away from that here, able to really start closing in on this lead pack as they're racing pretty hard with each other, getting ever so close as the run goes on here. And it looks like just ahead of him, Kevin Ruff has started to fall off just a little bit.
Yeah, starting to lose a little bit of a grip there with that pack. As you see this battle here for that 9th position, You got Brock Potter working the bottom, Ryan Bean the 25 right directly behind the 84. Daniel Gonzalez. Can Potter make it stick? Just can't get clear of that 84 and make the pass. Is something common we've seen here throughout this whole entire race. It's just not being able to get clear. And there's the 4, clears the 84. Does the 84 cut underneath here off of 4? Yes, he does, but Potter going to have that preferred position, or does Daniel Gonzalez slide up in front of him into 1 and 2? We'll have to see.
Well, that was a textbook slide job out of the 4 right there. Checked up just enough to not completely miss the corner, but it was at just the right time to not allow Daniel Gonzalez to really cut underneath of him with a full run. Daniel Gonzalez really having to back out of it to not get into the back bumper. Unfortunately, I think later in the race, guys are not going to be as courteous to lift as much as Daniel did there, but Brock Potter on the move now up to 9th position.
Man, what fun racing we're seeing here. Brock Potter making the pass. Same with Ryan Bean. That puts Daniel Gonzalez now back to the 11th spot as Ryan Bean and Brock Potter break themselves into 9th and 10th at the moment. But 83 laps in right now, the top 8 drivers only separated by 2.5 seconds. This racing has been fantastic.
And it's just a lot of small packs kind of intermittently scattered around the track right now. Apart from our lead group of cars, it's about 2 or 3 cars at a time, it seems, throughout the field here. Following around Casey Kuntz in the 31 running 14th right now, with Miller running right behind him. Closely followed by Kevin Zabladil, who's trying to make that pass to the outside of Miller.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of good racing right now at the moment. Yeah, you see right here the 28 of Miller trying to work that bottom of Casey Kuntz. There in the 31. You got Kevin Zabladil in the 17 behind there. And even Jeff Carson in the 81. Remember, he was our ARCA Series winner from the Charlotte track. He's in the Cup Series tonight. And he's in the 17th position of 29. So great run for him tonight.
It unfortunately got a little bit of damage on the rear there, but still running a pretty decent pace here, up 17. Looking to charge back up here, trying to crack himself into a top 10. He knows he's got speed here, absolutely, after winning the All-Star race for the ARCA Series. Had a lot of speed in the ARCA race just before the Cup race here tonight. Caught in an unfortunate accident, so he's looking for a bit of redemption.
Yeah, looking for a little bit of redemption, like you said, they're working his way up. Next driver behind them would be Ryan Ezel in that 5 in the 18th position. He's having a good run here also tonight in that 5 machine from 28th to 18th, so 10 positions up from his starting spot. And, man, it's just been one of those nights for a lot of guys. Kevin Sabila getting caught up in an early wreck in the 78. He's able to have that damage and still running in the 19th position. Same with Nolan Potter. Started second, got loose, ended up in that wreck. He's running 20th tonight with the 22 of Harold Watkins directly behind him, with Tony Luby in the 13, 22nd.
Yeah, Marc-Andre Thibodeau just behind this group in 23rd. Just playing his race really smart, just kind of staying out of trouble. Nice, clean-looking car here. Just letting things happen. Maybe there's a wreck up at the front, takes out a couple guys, stacks them back up, and if it comes down to it at the end of the race, clean cars, good track position, you'll have a really good shot at a good finish. And right now, really playing it safe. He's got that bubble wrap on, as Lee would say.
Yeah, looking back at Trevor Massetti here, the 88 machine, not had the greatest night for our top 5 points man here. 11th starting position, 25th here after getting damaged early in this race, and he will be the last car on the lead lap at the moment. So, yeah, those are the cars on the lead lap. Is Travis Everett started to stretch his legs, but I tell you what, from Matthew Rush on back to GT Rosari, these guys, through the time we ran through the field there, those 2nd to 5th, these guys have just been, I don't even know how they haven't wrecked yet, how hard they've been racing.
Well, for a while, Zach, I was when we were flicking through the field, I looked up and saw that Matthew Rush had pulled out a decent-sized gap. Curtis Preston able to reel him back in now. Hunter Hayward kind of fallen off a little bit. Got passed by Curtis Preston a handful of laps ago. Barely able to close the door on GT to avoid having the 14 go to his outside. And now GT just trying to figure out a way that he can get back to the front here with the tires really worn in. Still trying to make the bottom work. as we heard from Travis Everett, that later in the run he expects this part of the race you're just going to have to run the top. The bottom is not really going to be that viable.
I'll tell you, he's got it figured out at the moment as he's running the bottom and pulling away. So whatever Everett has figured out has really led to his success here tonight. And right now, a 1.1 second lead back to Matthew Rush. He's having a fantastic race. I mean, nonetheless, if Rush can keep this in the top five, first top five of the season, this will be a huge moment for him, being a Final Four contender last season, and not to have a top five through the first 12 races. You would probably call that person crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy indeed. I'm looking at Cabin Rough right here is kind of falling off a little bit. And he's showing signs of exactly what I was thinking earlier in the race, Zach, that pushing really hard and you're going to lose the nose over these bumps. I've seen him catch the wall just a few times lately. It's allowed Bob Fitzpatrick to really close in. And he's just not quite able to make the pass yet. Just can't seem to make anything lower on the track work to gain any kind of advantage over the 112 right now. So even with the damage on Cabin Rough's machine, able to hold on to 6th position.
And now you're seeing Curtis Preston try to do his best to try to get the second spot. He's been trying this for so long, and this is a race for us as broadcasters, Brandon. I feel like is pretty entertaining. I mean, Rush up into the wall a little bit there, just a little touch, able to keep his momentum actually. But here goes back to the inside of Curtis Preston. But this race here is for a driver though very frustrating. This type of race.
I know from personal experience that you will absolutely agree with me that this type of racing as a driver you are just heated behind the wheel right now. And anytime somebody closes the door on you, chops your nose off, you are getting more and more heated, knowing how hard it is to try to make these passes work when everybody's just got the speed on the high side.
And I tell you what, Preston, he did a fantastic job of setting that pass up, and he did exactly what I feel like you need to do. You got to have the run coming out of 4 to be able to slide up in 1 and 2, and he had the run with the Rush getting very close to the wall, just scrubbing it a little bit, and that let Preston slide on by to get up in the second, see what type of lap times he can put down. Does this let Hayward have a shot at it now? Because I feel like Rush has definitely been the bottleneck in this top line right here for the last few laps. Here comes Irizarry on the bottom in the 14. He's trying to slide up into the picture also as the 29 of his teammate gets past the 11 now to get up in the second.
Well, I think just watching Matthew Rush, he cannot quite get the car to rotate its center, which is telling me he's just burned up his right front a little bit too much. And it was really evident watching Hunter Hayward roll the inside. They were pretty much dead even coming off the corner. Slight advantage just to the nature of the high side here, but Rush back up into the fence again, having to roll out of it. Definitely being a bottleneck right now, trying to just not lose that many positions, do what he can to defend, but these guys are a good bit faster. It just can't quite generate that run to the inside. But GT, he's been great at it all race. Now that he's got position over Hunter Hayward, see if he can clear him and then get after the 11.
Yeah, these two definitely trying to do their best to get past the 11, but they're racing each other too also. So this right here, very critical between these two, is Rush is definitely struggling a little bit. But I tell you what, Rush has got up into the wall, but it's been so light that it hasn't been catastrophic yet.
Those are the type of contacts with the wall, Zach. As a driver, you have to tell yourself that it's a lot worse in your head than it actually was. And anybody that has any type of experience on iRacing you generally have a sense of the sound of the contact, exactly if you're going to have damage or not. And it's enough to throw sparks and just have them get out of the gas a little bit, just kind of flattening out the decals, as it were. But it kind of gets to your head a little bit, making you think that, okay, the car's not really handling anymore after that contact.
I tell you what, here the 14 years already trying to work over this 48 Hunter Hayward and just not able to do it there as Hayward gets back to the outside. You got to imagine GT definitely getting a little bit, I guess you say the patience is wearing thin for this 14, I believe, on this 48 here.
And he was having a really good run there and just slowly chipped into that advantage that Hunter had. but also with the lap car Dustin Stallings coming was going to take away his line. I think if he'd have waited another lap, instead of committing to turn 1 and 2 last lap, he'd have been able to clear the 48 there, but he knew he had to make the pass happen right then or get have the lap car used as a pick.
I'll tell you what, here looking on from the back bumper of Hunter Hayward, you can see he was already not too far behind. Here comes Matthew Rush to pit road in the 11. He's going to hit pit road. So is Curtis Preston in the 29. Here on lap 100 with 35 to go, taking their last set of tires here.
Well, I am going to be interested to see if Curtis Preston gets out of this without a penalty. He was all over the track trying to get slowed down on the entry to pit road there. Don't know if he got in under the speed limit, but we will see.
I believe he did, Brandon. I believe he did. I think he should be good. Looking at the mile per hour as he crossed the line. Yes, he will pull straight from his pit box. So, yeah, Curtis Preston there going to be able to come back from his starting position and get back on to the track. But when does Everett hit pit? Everett hits pit road this time.
Yeah, I think you have to. The fresh tires, not going to matter too much when everybody gets lined back up. But running by yourself, you're just running so much faster. They're going to be able to pass him under the cycle if he waited any longer here.
So did the 48, and so did the 14. All three of those drivers up front electing to hit pit road. 48 gets out in front of Irizario. I think Irizario was hoping he could get out in front of that 48, give him a shot to go forward. But tell you what, now it's going to be critical. Building speed here as they come off of pit road. Where does Everett come out involved with Preston? Preston's going to come out, I think, ahead, guys. Yes, he does. Curtis Preston going to cycle to the lead here past the number 59. So once this all cycles through, I believe Curtis Preston will be your race leader.
Well, Daniel Gonzalez currently the leader, but on pit road, they're going to pass him now. So Daniel Gonzalez giving up the lead after the cycle here, which is going to cycle Hunter Hayward up to 3rd position. GT falling back to 6th. Matthew Rush 5th. Kevin Ruff back up to the 4th position now, able to hold on pretty strong.
Oh, man, we're down to the final portion of this race, final run of this race. You got to get everything you possibly can here, every bit of speed out of that tire, every bit of drivability out of this race car. As you see Curtis Preston slicing through traffic here, trying to make the most time, as has about a 0.7 of a second lead over teammate Travis Everett, and back 4 seconds to Hunter Hayward in 3rd. Man, right now is go time for these drivers.
Now, right now, if you are Curtis Preston, you are just hoping that the lap traffic is going to cooperate with you and give you the lane, not put up too much of a fight. You don't want anybody out here trying to be a Ryan Newman.
No, nobody out here trying to be, oh, whoa, who is that? Kevin Sabilla in the 78. He's through the grass trying to get that thing back on the racetrack here. So he'll be coming up a little bit slow on speed there. See these drivers try to work by that 78 there as they go high around him. As Sevilla up to speed is a little bit loose off of 4 on them cold tires.
Well, and I got to point out, Zach, that 2 laps ago, GT put down the quickest lap of the race. So that 14 has definitely got a lot of speed now. Doesn't quite have the track position, just trying to figure out a way to make up time. The benefit is that himself, as well as Hunter Hayward and Kevin Ruff and Matthew Rush, pretty much running by themselves for the most part, just dealing with slower lap traffic. So they're going to have a lot of clean air, as opposed to Curtis Preston. It's been kind of caught up in gaggles of lap traffic that he's having to fight around. It could help their tires in the long run if they can close up the gap. Maybe we get a late caution.
Man, oh man, I tell you what, Brandon, up front, it's business, as they say, is picking up. As the 59 of Travis Everett has closed to within 0.3 of this lead. He's slowly reeling them in, but I'm telling you what, this is going to be tough to do with only 1 lap fresher tires. It's going to be tough to make this pass for the lead. I don't know if it's going to happen, man. He's going to have to show a lot of resilience to get back by teammate Curtis Preston here in the closing laps of this race.
Well, and that's the hardest thing too about racing teammates is you've got to be a lot more patient and give them a lot more room, be a little bit more respectful than you would be to somebody else at the closing stages of the race, because you never want to wreck a teammate, but you really don't want to wreck a teammate for the win.
Well, I tell you what, that battle for the lead is about to start happening. The 59 is there, off of 4. He has got to his teammate Curtis Preston. That one lap pressure is looking like it's working. He goes to the inside. Can he make the bottom work? Curtis Preston gonna have to hold that door to his door. He slides up the racetrack a little bit there on the exit. That's gonna slow him up a little bit. They're gonna be dead even down the back straightaway. A little bit of a run here for Preston, but to the numbers, can the 59 now make that bottom work here side by side through 3 and 4 here as they exit off of 4? It's going to be Everett almost out ahead. He gets very loose. You see him work the wheel. He's going to lose that spot in critical position to the 29 of Curtis Preston. As he goes up to the wall. Here goes the 59 back to the bottom. The racing here kicking off for this win.
We'll have to see what happens to 3 and 4 this time, but I'm noticing out of Curtis Preston, it just seems like the center of the corner, he is really tight. He just seems to wash up toward the wall, center of the corner again, and then cuts it back down. I think that's just what's hurting a lot of guys' speed later in these runs. This final bit after this pit stop, only 5 laps longer than what they had for their first and second stages. So they kind of know what to expect for the tire wear and exactly how hard they're going to be able to push to get the speed out of it here. But with the 2 teammates battling, if they're able to keep side by side for a while, Hunter Hayward, he's back by 5.3 seconds right now. But if they get battling pretty hard, it's Curtis Preston up into the wall.
And that's going to do it. There goes Everett on by it, and Preston was flirting with that wall, man. And the caution.
There's a caution.
Oh, man, that shakes up everything. I'm unsure exactly what the caution is for here. Looks like we are fine. Looks like the 27 of Marc-Andre Thibodeau. Looks like his race has come to an abrupt end here with 24 laps to go to bring out the caution here, brought to you by Orange Nissan Central. See exactly what happens here coming down the back straightaway. And this is actually interesting. I've seen Ryan Bean catch this earlier and do almost a similar thing, but not as drastic. Oh, straight into the inside wall and then hard into the outside wall. That's going to bring out the yellow. And now this sets up for some type of race here now is ooh, man, if you stayed out, you could position here, Brandon.
Well, I gotta think that Travis Everett and Curtis Preston might have to be a little bit worried. They were battling pretty hard, and we saw Curtis Preston get up into the wall, definitely abusing his tires, just trying to keep his teammate behind him here. And everybody else behind him pretty much had clean air. They're not having to deal with the car getting tight, really having to push the ability of the tires. So they theoretically should be a bit more cooled down and have a little bit more wear on them. I think this just opened up the door for potentially Matthew Rush, GT, or Hunter Hayward. If they took care of their tires during this last run, they could steal this thing.
Man, the possibilities are running through my head right now. And this is going to be interesting to see, man. I think Everett sits in a good spot. Just having the lead like that is going to be nice. I think the battle ensues from second on back. We'll see what Preston could do. He barely got into the wall. I'm going to actually take a quick look at his race car. Definitely a little bit of damage there, but nothing terrible. No splitter damage. You can't see the tire, so it's pretty good, I would say, still. So we'll see how he can do to hold this off here. But man, I tell you what, this race has been intense, and with these older tires here, they're gonna cool down a little bit, so that bottom is gonna go away quickly. I think you're gonna have 1 to maybe 2 laps of bottom time, and then you're gonna have to jump up top.
Yeah, you're gonna have to hope that when you decide to sail it off in there on the bottom, that you've got the grip that you are expecting to have to make that move. And if you are trying to defend, if you're somebody on the outside trying to pinch that guy down, you're hoping that he doesn't maybe clip the apron or just push the nose a little bit and not have the grip, because if that happens and you're trying to pinch him down, you very well might get sent up into the fence.
Man, I have no clue how this is all going to play out, but we are all going to experience it together here. as our pace lights are still on. So we will be doing one more lap here before we head back to green flag racing. But thank you everybody for tuning in as always. Sorry about the internet issue here tonight. Sometimes just luck can't be on your side here, but we're back here at Charlotte. That's all that matters. We're back here to bring you the ending of tonight's race number 13 from the RSR Cup Series, as it's been a fantastic night up here in the booth. Man, the race we seen in the ARCA race was great. The race we seen in this Cup Series is great. I'm sure the drivers may not feel. That's the thing about this, Brad. I say this is great racing, especially from our standpoint. I mean, just the side by side action. But from a driver standpoint, I think you're going to hear a few drivers frustrated with just how this race play. It's hard to pass, and it gets so frustrating racing side by side when you know that outside line is just so dominant.
And I think that's it's pretty common that it always seems like the races that are amazing to watch from the outside perspective are just a nightmare as a driver. You just are so ready to be done, never want to come back again, never want to do this again. I'm interested to see what they say during the top 3 interviews at the conclusion of the race here, as far as how difficult they felt it was. But I've got to point out, Zach, that this is a little bit similar to what we saw this past weekend at Richmond for the NASCAR Cup Series. A late caution, and who won that race after they closed up the gap?
Well, looks like that was the Alex Bowman number 88 machine.
48 now, Zach.
Oh, it's true. Oh, wow. It wasn't 88. It was the 48. So, oh, wow. So you're calling the shot for Hayward here. Wow. Well, you know what? I think the C's are going to part for that man on his outside, Mr. 14 and GT Rizar. I think he may be the man to steal this up here if it gets spicy up front. But I tell you what, Travis Everett's going to be tough to beat as he'll be restarting on that outside lane. That could be a mistake. We'll see if he can get the jump on his teammate. We'll have to see here. With 21 laps to go. Pace car in this time. Possibly the final time tonight. Green flag is in the air. Travis Everett off and away. GT Rosario, what a start for him. Curtis Preston, not the greatest start. That's going to let GT slide up in a second. That pushes Hayward back to 4th with Kevin Ruff on his outside as they head down to 1 and 2. The action ensues. All 4 on the bottom lane here. I think the cold tires are going to prevail here on the bottom lane. But once they get up to heat, that top lane going to come in very quickly.
I'm getting word here that GT may have gotten a black flag on that restart.
Oh, no.
So he's talking with race control here, trying to decide what they're going to do. They decided to clear that as it was they determined it was a legal restart. No black flag necessary there. So GT avoiding disaster and holding on to that second spot, still having a chance to get up there and steal this win from his teammate.
Yeah, and that was what that mostly is caused, is just a little bit of a glitch on the iRacing side of things, with Curtis Preston starting on the bottom lane with Everett taking that outside lane. So no harm, no foul there from GT. Good job on the Evans clearing that there. As the battle for second ensues now. Here comes Hayward. You said the 48. You never know. He came up quick. We've seen Bowman do it in the Richmond race this past weekend. Can the 48 number come up here late in the going with 18 to go? Looks like he can't get it done, as Irizarry's going to clear him to pull back into second as the top 3 here all duking it out with 18 to go. These guys got even tires. They all 3 pitted on the same lap. Remember, Preston pitted 1 lap before him. He's back to 4th, but definitely sliding back here with 17 to go. I think these top 3 are going to be the ones to watch.
Well, I was watching it. What happened to Curtis Preston is he tried to roll the inside of Hunter Hayward, and just the car would not turn. He got really tight, had to get out of the gas majorly to avoid running into the left rear of Hunter Hayward there. Lost a lot of momentum trying to claw it back now. But these guys up front, all running the bottom right now. I think if I'm GT or Hunter Hayward right now, trying to find some clean air, maybe run that middle lane, trying to just get some clean air, get a little bit more rotation in the car, get that good run off, and set up for a pass.
Yeah, I think you got to search for something there. It's Andrew Little there. A little slow on the racetrack. Looks like he'll get back going up to speed. No harm, no foul here. No caution. Nobody around that 68. So we stay green here with 16 to go. Looking back up front, here's Brock Potter taking that 7th position from Kevin Ruff as he's having a fantastic night tonight in that number 4 machine.
I'll tell you who's having a fantastic night. Kevin Zabladil is flying right now. Just got by the 11 of Matthew Rush, now setting his sights on Curtis Preston, and he is closing in a hurry.
He's running almost a second faster than these guys ahead. He's on brand new tires. He could be the one to watch. And look at the record in the back. Daniel Gonzalez goes around. Wow. What an unfortunate caution here. Brought to you by Or Nissan Central. You're seeing Daniel Gonzalez there in that 84. A lot of damage to the nose of that race car. And he's going to bring out our caution here with a little bit of contact between him and the 6 of Rusty Modesty on the back straightaway. And, man, that is unfortunate because Gonzalez was having such a good race, and nobody else collected in that, Brandon. But, man, Gonzalez and Modesty getting some damage from this caution here with 14 to go.
Man, you talk about disastrous. This was a saving grace for Kevin Zabladil with his fresher tires. This was a nightmare for GT, who had just taken the lead, as well as Travis Everett and Hunter Hayward, having Kevin now in 5th place on the freshest tires in the field. You said he was running a second quicker. Looks like we're going to go back with about 10 to go. That's not a lot of time to hold off a car that is a second quicker that is starting right behind you.
Whoa. Man, Zabladil just inserted himself into this race's picture, and he's looking to bring home a possible victory here tonight. That would be some type of story book ending for tonight. I mean, coming in here tonight, looking at the points, man. I mean, Zabladil definitely not having the greatest season he's had for being 19th in points. He does have 2 top 5s to go to his name and 2 top 10s, so it's either been hit or bust for him throughout this season through his 10 starts. But here in start number 11, he could possibly be in position to get a victory. This could be something, man. I tell you what, I did not expect this coming, and what a call by him to save a set of tires to be able to charge up through here late. He was past Preston, but just as the yellow was coming out, so he'll have to restart 5th there. Man, GT was able to get ahead there right at the end, so that caution was timely for him. Don't know if he would have made that pass on Everett, but now he'll restart with a chance to win this. Man, I have no clue how this is going to play out here, Brandon. This is going to get very critical coming down to the end. Zabladil's got to make clean passes, but I think he's got plenty of time.
If I feel horrible for GT if he loses this race, because he's finally had that spectacular race that he knows that he is capable of, that everybody else knows he's capable of. He's been able to stay out of trouble and had the speed to be up here and contend. He's not necessarily dominated, but he won the first stage, and he has been fighting for this lead the entire race. To get beat just by having somebody pull out this crazy strategy of having the freshest tires this late in the race is a heartbreaker. But at the same time, I love when somebody can pull off this type of strategy, thinking so outside the box. This was a huge risk to wait this long on your last set of tires for Kevin Zabladil, and if it pays off, it is genius. Oh man, I don't even want to be in the driver's seat right now. Spend enough time in these situations where you're just all nerves, your legs are shaking, you're trying to be as steady as you can on the wheel, but the adrenaline's pumping at this point. You're so close to a victory, you can taste it, and you lose far more often than you win. So a lot of these guys know that they've been in this position just to end up coming up a little bit short here. And if I'm GT, I don't want anybody telling me that there's a guy behind that's a second a lap quicker.
Yeah, that could be a big issue for sure. And I tell you, this cooling off phase here, it does help the guys ahead of Kevin, but it also helps Kevin because his tires are gonna be even that much better on the bottom. They're taking off. I'm expecting fireworks, big fireworks here from the 17 coming down to the end. Believe we should be getting that 1 to go sign here. But Brandon, what a race we've had here at Charlotte. This place is put on one heck of a show. I can't wait to see this ended.
It's going to be an exciting last 10 laps here. And I got to say, the inside lane, the cooldown period for these guys, it's going to help them. But at the same time, if I'm Kevin, knowing how fast I am, these guys are still going to have to check up a good bit, trying to run the inside on their older tires, even though they're cooled off. They're not going to be able to run as hard as he can on the bottom. So if I'm Kevin, I'm just passing them where they're not. He's essentially going to be able to hold it wide open around this track where these guys are going to have to lift, trying to run the bottom to hold him off. And he's going to be able to fly around the bottom where they try to take away the preferred lane on the top. He's just got to be smart about when he makes his passes.
Yeah, I think if you're him, don't lift, run the very wall.
Full send, lick the stamp, and send it.
Exactly there, Brandon. We'll have to see what he can do, man. But 11 to go here. Restarting in that 5th position at the 17 on brand new tires. Can Kevin Zabaldil bring home his first victory of the season? Can GT Irizarry pull off his first victory of the season? We will have to see. Do not miss it. Do not leave your seat. Pace car is in this time. GT Irizarry with control of this field. We're going green flag racing back.
Green, green, green.
GT Irizarry hits the line side by side with him, and Everett gets to the inside. The battle is going to be for the lead as they go down into 1 and 2 here. What does the 17 do once they get up to speed will be the question here. Off of turn number 2, side by side for the lead. Everett out front, side by side down the back straightaway. It's a dead heat for the top 4.
Kevin Zabladil in 5th position, sizing him up. Going to go 3 wide here in between Hayward and Preston. These guys are in big trouble.
He's around the middle. What a move for his 2nd place here. Zabladil up to 2nd here. He is closing in with 9 to go. Irizarry sees the 17 coming. I don't think he's going to have much for him, guys. Is that 17 right on the bottom lane? He has got the run here coming out of turn 2. Dead even. Man, oh man, here it is. Can Zabaldil make it work? He goes to the bottom. GT protects the bottom. Slides up in front. The 14 does. Here comes the 17 to the inside. Takes the lead with 8 to go. Kevin Zabaldil, new leader here at the RSR Cup Series, looking for his first victory here at the RSR Cup Series.
Man, that was GT, just could not hold the bottom. They both slid up at the same time. A little bit of a bump out of the way there as Kevin was trying to pull down underneath. Great job, GT, not getting too out of shape there and keeping it out of the fence. Still going to hold on to a 2nd place here. It doesn't look like any of the guys behind him have anything for him.
No, it doesn't. Hayward slides up in front of Everett back there to take the, looks like that'll be the 4th position with Preston now sliding in the 3rd. Man, Zabaldil just needing to hit good, clean laps here. Doesn't want to see any type of yellow. This driver is on course to pull something off that we did not expect coming tonight. Look at Jeff Carson coming through the field.
I was just about to say Carson is just flying right now. Redemption is at hand, looking to crack the top 3 here. We're going to have about 5 laps to go. I don't think he's got anything for Kevin Zabaldil, but I think 2nd place is well within reach.
Yes, it is. Here he goes to the bottom and look at the tire difference. He goes straight down there, making the big move. 6 to go here. Jeff Carson, our race winner from the All-Star race here for the ARCA Series, up to 3rd. He's making a big noise here as he goes down to 3. I think he's going to have 2nd here pretty quickly. Does he have enough, though? Zabaldil in front was a 10th slower the last time by with even passing cars. Let's see what it is here. Carson, though, looks like he will be still a 10th quicker than our leader. 0.8 of a second lead with 5 to go. Carson makes the pass on Irizarry. That puts Irizarry back to 3rd. Man, what a change of events here with 5 laps to go, Brandon. I do not know what to expect, man.
You just think you know what's going to happen throughout this race. Cars that have been dominant the entire night, and suddenly it gets flipped on its head. Now we've got 2 guys that came out of nowhere, played fantastic strategy here, and now battling for the lead all amongst themselves. But Jeff Carson is closing now to half a second.
With 4 to go, can the ARCA fill-in driver pull off a victory? We've seen it earlier in the season with the 4800 Hayward. He got a promotion from that victory Can the 81 of Carson show the same patience here with 3 to go? Zabladil saying, no, not that fast. I'm a regular here, buddy. I want this win. But I'm telling you what, 0.2 of a second each lap, and he will be there. It's going to be close with 3 to go.
It's going to come down to a great run, and I think a last lap pass here for Jeff Carson. He's gotten to within 0.4 of a second, kind of stalled out now. I think that dirty air might be playing a factor.
I'll tell you what, man, this is heating up here. Stalling out, but the caution is out on the racetrack, brought to you by Or Nissan Central. This changes everything. Looks like Junior Miller, possibly in the 28 here, was possibly the car involved here, as his night is going to come to an abrupt end here on the back straightaway on lap 130. So we'll go back on the Freaky Fast replay. See exactly what happened here to Junior Miller. Here he's on the back straightaway directly behind Ryan Ezel. He's got the 68 Andrew Little directly in front of him. Andrew Little gets into the out wall, and just kind of similar to what we've seen. We've seen that. I've seen that twice tonight. You know, we've seen it with the last caution before, and then I've seen Ryan Bean also do that. So that's the third time I've seen that tonight. Guys getting into the outside wall down the back straightaway, and they just launched them to the left.
I think what that is it's a reaction to the physics with the tire. These guys have got their fenders kind of pushed in a little bit, and it's like the tire is bouncing off the wall instead of the body panel for the car, and it's causing that that bounce that we're seeing where these guys just get ejected from the wall like this.
Man, oh man, look at this 81, this 17. Both of these guys have made the calls of the night. Now it's going to come down to who's going to make the right call here at the end. Oh man, Brandon, I think you got to pick the bottom lane here.
I think you have to, but with as even as it is, if Carson is able to pinch him down on the bottom like we saw earlier, it works pretty well. If the guy gets a little bit tight, we saw as hard as they were pushing, they were not able to hold the bottom all the way through the corner, really washing up toward the exit of the corner. If you can pinch somebody down and force them to get out of the throttle, you have got the pass made easily.
Man, I tell you what, Zabladil's just gonna have to do his best job here on this restart. He also has a little bit of damage on that car, just a tiny bit on the right front. It's very, very little. You even have some damage, I believe, on the right front of the 81. So these guys don't have perfect race cars, but man, I think this also helps Irizarry and them though. They're gonna cool their tires down here. And the difference between lap time there at the end of that run was only about 0.2. So this cooling down phase could help them a little bit, get a little bit closer, and possibly maybe squeak in a second. Or if something happens between these two, that could be your shot.
Oh man, I know GT has got to be a little bit bummed out now, but like you said, this kind of opens the door for him to get back there. I don't know if he's going to be able to on outright speed. But if something happens, like you said, he is in prime position to capitalize on that. You've just got to be focusing on, are these guys going to race each other hard enough to potentially make contact? Is somebody really going to risk it and try to sail it in and potentially cause a wreck between the front two here? If that happens, you've got to be expecting it and put yourself in a position to not get collected in it.
I tell you what, Brandon, I'm nervous. I'm nervous for these guys. You know, they haven't been put in this position very many times, these two up front. You know, this is not a normal situation, I feel like, for these top two. And this could get the most of them. You never know. This is, you know, it's easy to do green flag laps. You kind of get to stretch your legs and kind of get the butterflies out of the way. But, man, when you roll under caution laps like this is when I would be just biting my fingernails off. I would be freaking out.
Well, when you're under green flag conditions, you don't have time to think about everything that's going on. You are focusing on hitting your marks and turning as quick a lap as possible. But when you're cruising around here at 50 miles an hour, you get to really sit and think about exactly what is at stake for this restart. And it absolutely can get the best of you. I know, like I said, the adrenaline is pumping, and it doesn't matter how experienced you are. I've been running on iRacing for a decent amount of time now, and still, when you get put in these positions, your feet start to shake a little bit. And you're trying to get it under control. You're like, man, don't mess up, don't mess up. And sometimes you can be so focused on it that you miss the restart. you just make a little mental lapse, just focusing too hard on what not to do.
No, you're exactly right. Trust me, I'd had the good old right foot shake every now and then. You know, it's a special one when the right foot starts to shake on the white flag. But I tell you what, these guys' right foot's already probably shaking here, as this coming down to the end is nerve wracking. We got 2 shots at a possible overtime finish here. This is going to be our first attempt, everybody. Remember, isn't official till that white flag flies, and then we're going to race back to it. If the caution comes out before that white flag, we reset them and do one more attempt at it. But man, Zabadil selects the outside line. Brandon, I'm torn on that decision, but he's going to go with it. So going to take the outside lane here with the 81 Jeff Carson on the bottom. This is going to get spicy, I must say.
Well, if you kind of make your bed and lay in it here, and I think, like I said, the game plan is he's just going to try to pinch him down as much as possible and not let him get the full run that he can out of the corner. They're getting ready to go green, and we're about to find out.
Oh, and he's off and away. Green flag in the air. Zabadil really on the gas pedal quickly. That's a way to get out front and not have no challenge down into the corner. Good job by him. He's got a good sized gap heading down to the corner. He attacks the outside line here, running back down to the middle. Here comes the 81 Jeff Carson with the run of GT Rosario. Also on the 14, you see Hayward making the pass on the 59 of Everett with Curtis Preston to the top. Zabadil needs to get down to the bottom. Oh, Preston slides up to the top, 3 wide for the 4th position.
Oh, Preston in the wall there, just about turns GT.
White flag in the air, brought to you by Sheffield Graphics. One final time here tonight at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Kevin Zabadil looking to bring home that first victory. Can he do it off of turn 2? Looks clear. No pressure from Carson. He dices to the left. One final time here tonight. Down into 3. He elects to take the outside line. He is going to have the run. What a job. Kevin Zabadil comes out of 4, and he is your race winner here tonight at the Charlotte Motor Speedway.
And just barely does Jeff Carson hold off second place from GT Irizarry.
Wow. What a race. Man, oh man. Great racing from everybody there at the end of this thing, man. It is what a special ending there. Congrats to Kevin Zabadil. Congrats to Jeff Carson on the race. They did. Oh no!
What was that?
I think Hunter was trying to give him a little love, and that was too much love, Hunter Hayward.
Hunter, what are you doing?
I'm gonna burn it down. He's gonna light it up on the front straightaway. Congrats to Kevin Zabadil on the race win here tonight. He is your Sheffield Graphics race winner as he burns it down the front straightaway here. We'll go to a quick break, and we're going to hear from 2 happy people, I'm pretty sure. All right, we are back here, everybody, with our post-race interviews tonight here for the RSR Cup Series from the Charlotte Motor Speedway for race number 13. First up, we got the 14 at GT Irizarry. He was able to put on one heck of a show up here and be the top guy of the drivers on the same tires. So we'll see what he has to say about this third place finish tonight, just coming up a little bit short. Hey, GT, it's Zach up in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Hey, Zach, what's happening, man?
Hey, man, well, I tell you what, dude, that just coming up a little bit short here tonight. I tell you what, we thought coming down to the end there, you were the man to beat there, but then those guys on new tires came up out of nowhere, saving that set, man. But you were able to finish ahead of the guys on the same strategy as you, man, to bring home third here tonight. How does that feel also getting a stage win, too?
I almost got second.
Very close.
It was close. I mean, it was. What we found out in practice, it was, if you can get out front, then you can kind of control, the field right there. But is what I figured out was, or we were figuring out during practice, was if we could run down low and just kind of hold our own down there, we were getting better tire wear. But it still was, it was a pain in the rear to pass somebody. We were faster. But you just had to work on them for 4 or 5 laps just to get by them. But yeah, I think we had a really good car. Number 14 Mustang Week was on rails there for a while, and then once we got out front, we checked out, and then that last time we checked out. But I still think Kevin would have caught us even if we were stay green. Them boys had the pressure tires on there. There wasn't nothing we could do with that. Heck, I almost wrecked myself trying to just stay running my line down low, thinking I would kind of be able to stay in front of him at least till the trial, but I was wrong about that and about wrecked us both.
Yeah, so man, they were coming quick on those new tires. They definitely were using those up to their advantage, man. But nonetheless, a great race for yourself here tonight at the Charlotte Motor Speedway after your win last week at the Bristol All-Star race. So showing some good momentum here. I'm sure that points paying win is right around the corner, man. But right around the corner, what I really wanted to get at next is we go to Watkins Glen next week. So GT, we haven't experienced the road course race here at the Evolution Racing League. So what can we expect out of you guys?
It's if you don't get punted on the first 2 laps from the braking points, then it's, as long as you can stretch it out, it should be okay. We know how to turn right, not just turning right wrecking our teammates, but we do know how to turn right and actually on purpose in order to make lap times. So I'm not the best that's out there. I'm damn sure not the worst. We're just going to try and shoot. We're going to shoot high and try and get another top 5. How about that? If we get a top 10, I'm not going to be disappointed with it because it is a road course. So it's just kind of that, and short tracks aren't my biggest favorite tracks. I like the 1.5 miles, to where you can kind of play with the throttle and run different lines and stuff like that. So we'll see. It'll be fun. We'll put on a good show for you boys.
Oh, I'm sure of that, man. I'm excited to see how you guys turn right and left next week. It's gonna be fun to watch nonetheless, man. But congrats on third here tonight, GT. Before we let you go, man, anybody wants to send a shout to?
We'll definitely want to thank Mustang Week for coming on board. We're starting to click off the top 3s now. We're on a roll. I don't want to jinx it and stuff like that, but it's an honor to have them on there. It's Mustang Week is coming up in September 6th through 12th, 2021. It's the 20-year anniversary. It's a hell of fun up there. In Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I want to thank you boys at Freaky Fast as always for coming on board. Got to thank Ryan and Michael Sheffield for everything they do for the league. There's a lot of stuff that goes on, and that they keep the ship going. So appreciate that, and also got to once again thank ButtKicker for coming on board as well. I don't know if you boys still got the Freaky Fast 20 as the 20% discount with them, but it's damn worth it, dude. If you think about it, go ahead and get it. Appreciate it, guys.
I appreciate you, GT. You have a great night, man.
No problem.
All right, guys, that was GT Irizarry in that 14 machine, able to bring home that 3rd place finish here tonight. Let's move on to our 2nd place man, Jeff Carson, our fill-in driver here tonight. Man, what a job for him and Zab Motorsports. 1-2 here tonight. That has got to be a great fill-in. Let's hear what Jeff Carson has to say. Hey, Jeff, it's Zach up in the booth, man. You got a copy?
I got you, man.
Well, I tell you what, Jeff, we seen you win the All-Star race here at Charlotte 2 weeks ago in the ARCA cars. Man, you come back here, had a great run in the ARCA car tonight, just didn't play out right with the strategy. But man, come here in the Cup Series, and what a strategy by y'all's guys team there is Zap Motorsports. You're able to bring home a 1-2 finish. How does that feel?
Man, it feels good. That was my strategy the beginning of the race. I knew tire wear was minimum for me being in the back, saving a little bit. So my strategy from the beginning of the race was to save a set for that end caution.
Now, you know, with you running double duty like you did tonight, Jeff, do you feel like there was any overlap you could carry from that ARCA race, or anything you could kind of learn from that to help carry over into tonight?
Yeah. I mean, the cars drive differently, but you can still learn the characteristics of the track and what the car will not do and what you can do with it. I mean, they're similar, but the Cup cars are a lot faster and handle a little bit better. The ARCA cars, they're really loose coming off the corners and loose in for me anyway.
Well, I tell you what, Jeff, you had a fantastic run here tonight, man. That 81, it was so fun to watch you and teammate Kevin duke it out there at the end, get the right call, and drive up through the field. So congrats to you guys on that, man. Before we let you go and head off the next week for the ARCA Series at Watkins Glen, anybody want to send a shout to, man?
Well, first of all, shout out to my ARCA team. They're supporting me, watching. Zab and his team. I was here covering Chad tonight. And you guys for putting this broadcast on in the league and everything they do.
Well, we thank you very much, Jeff. Great run tonight, man. And we will catch you next week in the ARCA Series, man.
All right, I'll see you then. All
right, buddy. You have a great night.
How you too?
All right, that was Jeff Carson, 81, filling in here tonight for Zab Motorsports. What a drive. What a drive from that 81. Just, you can't complain. But, man, the man who won tonight himself. Go check him out on Twitch, too. Look on the side of the car. Zab Moto. Go check him out. You know, go give Kevin some love here for his first victory here at the RSR Cup Series. That is awesome to see. But let's bring Kevin Zabladil down here to hear what he has to say about getting this victory. Hey, Kevin, it's Zach up in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, I tell you what, Kevin, man, great call tonight, man. When you came up through the field, Brandon called you out there when you got up to about the top 5, and he says, man, the 17 is coming out of nowhere here. And we started looking at the lap times. We noticed that you definitely made that pit stop there at the end, saved the extra set of tires. And Kevin, you were able to pull off the victory here tonight, man. Just put into words overall how tonight went and just what came down to the strategy and how does it feel to get that first victory?
I was so nervous staying out, and then at the end of that first stage, at the end of the second stage, excuse me, I was coming down and I actually got my right front down to like 15%. It was just shot, and the leaders just barely passed me, and kind of worked out to where I raced Trevor pretty hard and clean, and he didn't dump me, and that allowed me to be in the lucky dog spot, and that's really what set the whole thing up, because then I was back on the lead lap with an extra set, and we got a caution. I didn't know if I should take it, and had everybody on my team basically tell me and Carson, hey, you saved the tires, now's the time to do it. You need to have time to make it back through. Damn, that was a lot of fun. These guys are really fast up here, and last year had a race with GT down in the end, and even with new tires, he held me off. I had quite a bit new tires, and so I just kept having flashbacks. Like that's how good these guys are, and feels really good to finally get a win this league.
Hey man, that was impressive. It caught us off guard. We just out of nowhere just started going forward, man. And I tell you what, that was one to watch for sure. People were going to have to be going back to watch that one, man. You just pulled it off there. I cannot congratulate you more. There at the end too. You had the guts to go through a late green white checker. Did that kind of worry you there? Because at that point the tires had started to not even out, but the difference you had was definitely less, and that cooling down phase was definitely going to help them. Going into that last restart, what was your mindset like?
It's just like, don't screw this restart up, and basically if there's ever time to get a good restart, now's it, because again, I know how fast the guys are behind me, and I know that the advantage that I've got is getting smaller and smaller, and so I just wanted to go like hell, and there was not a better sight than seeing that white flag. I was pretty upset when we had that yellow right at the end, because I felt like it was just, there's nothing that could stop me other than a yellow flag, and then we got a yellow, and so I say that the white flag was the best thing of the night.
Yeah, definitely. That white flag was a big relief, and that checker flag even more, man. So congrats on that, Kevin. You know, tonight entering here, you came in here 19th in points, 2 top 5s to your name. So you added that 3rd top 5. Not only that, but a win. So now you got that win. What's the goal before we head off into the playoffs? You want to try to keep yourself in there and get yourself ready for those playoffs. So what's your goal here heading into these final parts of this regular season?
Well, now that I made the playoffs, I'm going to have to start practicing some of these playoff tracks and try to actually make a run at it, I guess. I mean, at this point, you know, it's going to be a lot of fun. And we're going into Watkins Glen next week, which I absolutely love the road course. I love that it's something different, and hopefully have another good run there. So I'm looking forward to the rest of this season.
Hey, man, I tell you what, congrats on the win here tonight. I'm excited to see you guys go to Watkins Glen next week. First time here at Freaky Fast for us with you guys at the road course. So I can't wait to see who out there has the road course down, man, and it's going to be very, very fun. But before we let you go, Kevin, for Victory Lane here tonight, man, anybody want to send a shout to?
Just Ryan and you know, Sheffield, Steve, Trevor, all the guys that run this league do a really good job. And you know, obviously you guys are one of the best broadcast teams out there. And obviously got to thank my sponsor, twitch.tv/zabmoto. Got a little budding community out there. And so thanks to everybody who follows me and supports me on that.
Awesome stuff, Kevin, man. Well, yeah, definitely everybody out there, go check out Kevin at his Twitch. That is definitely one to watch, man. Great win here tonight, Kevin, at Charlotte. And we will catch you next week at Watkins Glen, buddy. Go celebrate this thing.
Thanks again, guys.
You have a great night.
Yeah.
All right, that was your Sheffield Graphics Raceway here tonight. Kevin Zabladil, after making this strong call to get himself in position, he pulls off his first win here at the RSR Cup Series. Congrats to Kevin Zabladil, and that is your post-race interviews here tonight from the RSR Cup Series for round number 13 at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. All right, everybody, let's roll into our post-race coverage here and get our race results up to see where your favorite drivers finished tonight at the Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Evolution 135. As Kevin Zabladil was able to bring home the victory here tonight for Zab Motorsports. Second's going to go to teammate Jeff Carson. Third's going to be GT Irizarry. Fourth, Curtis Preston. Fifth's going to be Hunter Hayward. Sixth's going to go to Matthew Rush. Seventh's going to be Travis Everett. Eighth will go to Brock Potter. Ninth is Bob Fitzpatrick. 10th's going to go to Kevin Ruff. 11th, Casey Coots. 12th is going to be Nolan Potter. 13th, Ryan Ezell. 14th, Tony Ludi. 15th is going to go to Daniel Gonzalez. 16th, Andrew Little. 17th, Ryan Bean. Trevor Massetti in the 18th position. 19th is going to go to Rusty Modesty. 20th is going to go to Harold Watkins. 21st is Kevin Sabilla. 22nd, Adam Buzzio. 23rd, David Hall. 24th, Dustin Stallings. 25th, Anthony Yunez. 26th, J.R. Miller. 27th, Marc-Andre Thibodeau. 28th, Michael Martino. 29th, Nathan Campbell. And right at your field in the 30th position will be Stephen Baldwin in the 18 machine, as that is your race results here tonight from the Charlotte Motor Speedway with the RSR Cup Series. And what a race it was. Kevin Zabaldil, a first-time winner. And I tell you, we're seeing a lot of those this season and a lot of different winners, Brandon. If this continues up to the playoffs, it'll be interesting to see who makes it in and who does not.
Yeah, it just goes to show the talent and speed of the entire league, having so many first-time winners. And like you said, when it comes down to playoff time, this many first-time winners, this many winners in general, you can't rely on that win to get you into the playoffs, because you might have to face a tiebreaker there. You still got to fight and claw for every bit of points you can coming to the playoffs there, because you might just need them.
Definitely going to need every little point you can get, and we know that from stage racing here at the RSR Cup Series. But congrats to all the drivers out there. What a show they put on here tonight for the Evolution 135. But, man, what a great night it was. Thank you to all the fans who tuned in. You guys are our rock, our support, everything we love about this. So thank you guys for always supporting us out there and chatting with us up in chat. So thank you for tuning in as always. But we'll send it up to Robert Moyer Jr., our producer, to close out tonight's broadcast and head off to tomorrow night's broadcast.
All right. Yes, like Zach said, I second what he said there. Thank you everybody for tuning in out there tonight and jumping back in after lost internet. Do apologize for that. Not much you can do about that as it's the internet world. But as Zach said, tomorrow we will be live as this is going to be fun to see. We're going to be taking the trucks, Zach, and you're going to like this. And I'm not sure if you've seen it, but Circuit of America tomorrow with Underdog Racing League. Did you know that?
Let's go.
Well, make sure you tune in tomorrow at 8:30 as they take it on. Underdog Racing League is going to be at good old Circuit of America, which I've never seen a truck race there in my entire life, so I don't even know what we're going to be expecting. But we will have Zach Hall and Sam up in the booth tomorrow night at 8:30. But until then, hopefully everybody has a great work tomorrow and a great week if we don't catch you on the stream, but we'll catch you next week here with these guys at Watkins Glen. But until then, God bless everybody. We love you all. Peace out.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Simple, dear. I'll still be here when you're gone. You gather souvenirs.